Are you ready to decode the celestial whispers guiding you on your journey? Welcome to ASTRALX, where we illuminate your cosmic path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Lunaria, Selene, your intuitive guide.
Together, we'll explore the potential within your astrological blueprint. Today, we are focusing on you, our listener, a Capricorn sun woman with a Gemini rising. It's a fascinating combo, isn't it? Grounded practicality of Earth meeting the airy intellectual curiosity of air.
It is. This blend creates a dynamic individual, someone who can scale mountains with grace and dance with the winds of change.
I love that image. A mountain goat on a windswept peak. It captures that duality perfectly. But before we go on, let's paint a picture for our listeners. What does it mean to have a Gemini rising? What makes these women so unique?
Imagine someone with sparkling eyes that reflect a constant thirst for knowledge and a mischievous twinkle of wit. She radiates magnetic youthful energy and possesses a chameleon-like quality, constantly evolving and adapting.
So she's not just intellectually curious, but also incredibly adaptable. Her personality and style are constantly shifting.
Exactly. One day she might be drawn to a bohemian aesthetic, the next a sleek and minimalist look. This adaptability goes beyond the superficial. It's woven into the core of her being. It's what allows her to navigate different social situations with ease and connect with people from all walks of life.
Now I can see how that might create an interesting dynamic with her Capricorn sun. That grounded, ambitious, driven energy mixed with the ever-changing, intellectually curious nature of Gemini. Where might this duality play out most strongly in her life?
That's a question only our listener can truly answer, but we can explore some possibilities. In her career, she might be incredibly ambitious, aiming for the top, yet simultaneously crave the freedom to explore different paths and constantly learn new things.
So a traditional corporate ladder climb might feel too restrictive. She might be drawn to more entrepreneurial ventures or roles that allow for flexibility and continuous learning.
Exactly. And in relationships, that Gemini rising can bring a spark of excitement and unpredictability.
So she might crave a deep intellectual connection, but also need a certain level of independence and freedom within the relationship.
Precisely. She needs a partner who can engage her mind, stimulate her curiosity, and yet also respect her need for space to explore her own interests.
It sounds like a delicate balance. Now, speaking of balancing different energies, let's dive into what 2025 has in store for our listener. It's shaping up to be a year of significant transformation and potentially pivotal choices, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. 2025 is marked by the influence of major planets like Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu. Each of these celestial bodies brings its own unique energy and lessons, creating a cosmic landscape full of opportunities and challenges.
Let's start with Saturn. It's often associated with discipline and responsibility. And I know some people get a little nervous when we hear Saturn is going to be prominent in their year. What does Saturn's influence actually mean for our listener?
It's true, Saturn can bring challenges. It's like a cosmic teacher pushing us to confront our limitations and step into greater responsibility. For our listener, Saturn's transit through her sixth house, which governs health and daily routines, might bring up themes of work-life balance and self-care. It's a call to set firm boundaries, prioritize her well-being, and cultivate healthy habits.
So it's not necessarily a time to shy away from hard work, but rather to work smarter, not harder. It's about creating structure and prioritizing self-care to avoid burnout.
Exactly. Saturn is about building a solid foundation. Now, thankfully, we also have Jupiter's benevolent influence to look forward to in 2025.
Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, and good fortune. What kind of blessings will Jupiter be showering upon our listener?
Well, Jupiter's transit through her fourth house, which rules home and family in the first quarter of the year, suggests a period of harmony and growth in her closest relationships. This is an ideal time to nurture those bonds, strengthen her sense of belonging, and create a supportive foundation for the year ahead.
So it's a great time to focus on her home life, deepen connections with loved ones, and maybe even consider making her living space more comfortable and inviting.
Precisely. Now let's talk about love. How will those planetary influences shape her romantic life in 2025?
This is where it gets juicy. Our listeners are always eager to hear about matters of the heart. Let's spill the celestial tea.
Well, as we mentioned, the year starts off strong with Jupiter's positive influence on her existing relationships, bringing harmony and understanding.
So if she's in a committed relationship, this is a time to nurture that connection, deepen intimacy, and maybe even plan some romantic getaways to rekindle the spark.
Exactly. However, even with Jupiter's blessings, Saturn's influence might still create some challenges, especially as the year progresses. Saturn's transit could bring up issues related to family obligations, perhaps concerning parental health, or even disagreements within a marriage.
So there's a potential for some stress alongside the harmony. How can our listener prepare for those Saturnian challenges, especially those related to family?
This is where her Gemini gift for communication becomes absolutely crucial. She needs to express her needs, clearly listen actively to her partner or family members, and be willing to find compromises. Open and honest communication is key to navigating any potential turbulence.
It sounds like Saturn is pushing her to level up her communication skills, to find that balance between expressing her needs and being receptive to the needs of others.
Exactly. Now, for our single listeners, things get quite interesting in the latter half of 2025.
Ooh, tell us more. What does the cosmic forecast hold for those seeking love?
With Jupiter aspecting her fifth house, which rules romance and self-expression in the second half of the year, she'll radiate charm and attract new connections. This is a time to step out of her comfort zone, embrace her playful side, and explore those sparks of attraction.
So say yes to that party invitation, strike up a conversation with the cute barista, that sort of thing.
Precisely. You never know where luck might be hiding. And remember, with Jupiter's expansive energy, even existing friendships could blossom into something more.
Love is definitely in the air. But what about career and finances? What kind of cosmic guidance can we offer our listener in these areas?
Career-wise, her blend of Capricorn ambition and Gemini adaptability makes her a valuable asset. The key is to find a path that allows her to utilize both her drive to achieve and her ability to think outside the box.
So she might thrive in a fast-paced, ever-changing environment where she can constantly learn and take on new challenges.
Exactly. She could excel in fields like technology communication or even entrepreneurship, where innovation and adaptability are highly valued. Now, financially, things might be a bit more of a roller coaster, especially in the first half of the year.
The dreaded financial roller coaster. Any advice on how to navigate those ups and downs?
This is where her Capricorn practicality comes in. Budgeting, disciplined spending, and seeking expert financial advice are all crucial to weathering any potential financial turbulence and reaching those long-term financial goals.
So it's about balancing that Gemini impulse to spend with the Capricorn's innate sense of responsibility.
Precisely. And remember, Jupiter's influence in the later part of the year could bring unexpected opportunities for financial growth. It's about staying open to new possibilities and being willing to take calculated risks.
This is all incredibly insightful, but I want to delve a little deeper into her personal growth journey in 2025. What kind of inner transformations might she experience?
I'd say 2025 is all about peeling back the layers and connecting with her core values and beliefs. It's a journey of self-discovery that might involve question long-held assumptions, seeking deeper meaning in life, and perhaps even redefining what truly matters.
So it's a year for soul-searching, for getting clear on what she truly desires and aligning her actions with her authentic self.
Exactly. And that Gemini curiosity will play a big role in this process. She might find herself drawn to new spiritual practices, philosophical explorations, or even just spending more time in nature connecting with her intuition.
It sounds like 2025 is an invitation to embrace her spiritual side, to explore different ways of connecting with something bigger than herself.
Absolutely. And remember that Gemini energy thrives in communities. Surrounding herself with like-minded individuals, people who understand her need for both intellectual stimulation and emotional connection, will be crucial to her growth.
So joining a meditation group, a book club, or even just spending more time with friends who share her interests could be incredibly beneficial.
Precisely. Now we've covered love, career, finances, personal growth, but there's one more area we need to explore: property and vehicles.
Ah, yes. Big decisions for many. What does the cosmic forecast hold for our listener in these areas?
Well, Saturn's influence suggests both opportunities and challenges in these areas throughout the year. After March, things look particularly favorable for property matters, especially for land deals and real estate investments.
So if she's been dreaming of buying her dream home or investing in a rental property, the second half of the year might be the time to make a move?
It could be. But remember, Saturn also calls for caution and careful planning. It's essential to thoroughly research any potential investments, especially those involving large sums of money. Avoid anything with legal or financial baggage.
So it's a good time to tap into that Capricorn practicality, do your due diligence, and avoid any impulsive decisions.
Exactly. And when it comes to vehicles, Saturn's influence suggests a focus on practicality and reliability.
So maybe not the year to splurge on that flashy sports car unless it's been thoroughly vetted and fits into her budget.
Precisely. It's about making smart choices that align with her long-term goals and ensure her financial stability.
This is all fantastic information, but is there any way our listener can be even more proactive with this knowledge? Like, are there specific months she should mark on her calendar?
Absolutely. March, April, and November look exceptionally auspicious for her.
All right, let's break those down. What makes each of those months so special?
Well, in March, the stars align to support her ambitions and leadership qualities. This is a time when she can really shine in her career, take on new responsibilities, and make significant progress toward her progressional goals.
So a power month for career moves.
Exactly. Then in April, the focus shifts to relationships. Jupiter's influence brings warmth and harmony to her closest bonds, making it an ideal time to nurture those connections, deepen intimacy, and even mend any fences that might need mending.
Sounds like a month filled with love and connection.
It is. And finally, November brings a wave of creator energy and inspiration. This is a time when her Gemini side can truly flourish. She might feel drawn to artistic pursuits, new hobbies, or even just exploring different ways to express herself authentically.
So a month to let that Gemini flag fly.
Absolutely. Embrace that curiosity, that playfulness, that love of learning and trying new things.
This is all so excited. But I know it's impossible to talk about astrology without acknowledging that sometimes those cosmic energies can bring challenges as well as opportunity. What are some of the areas where she might need to be extra mindful and maybe call on those Capricorn strengths of resilience and determination?
Well, one potential challenge could arise from trying to do too much at once. Remember that duality we talked about? It can sometimes lead to feeling pulled in multiple directions, which can lead to overwhelm and exhaustion.
It's like having two superpowered sides, but sometimes they're pulling in opposite directions.
Exactly. So the key here is to prioritize delegate when possible, and remember that it's okay to say no. Sometimes self-care is not selfish. It's essential for sustaining her energy and achieving her goals.
It sounds like 2025 is a year where mastering the art of discernment will be crucial, choosing what to focus on, what to let go of, and when to simply rest and recharge.
Absolutely. And speaking of discernment, communication is another area where she might need to be extra mindful. Now, Gemini is known for its communication skills, but that doesn't mean misunderstandings can't happen.
Especially when you throw that Capricorn seriousness into the mix. It's a potent blend of directness and intellectual curiosity, which can sometimes lead to misinterpretations if she's not careful.
Precisely. So she might need to be extra mindful of how she's expressing herself, really listen to what others are saying, and be willing to clarify any potential misunderstanding.
Basically, double-checking that everyone is on the same page and remembering that clear communication involves both speaking and listening with intention.
Exactly. Now, health is another area where she might need to be extra vigilant, especially in the first half of the year. As we mentioned earlier, irregular routines and neglecting self-care can lead to health concerns. Establishing healthy habits early on is crucial.
So prioritizing things like regular exercise, a balanced diet, and quality sleep will go a long way toward supporting her overall well-being.
Absolutely. And don't forget, she's got that Capricorn resilience on her side, which can help her bounce back from any health challenges that might arise. It's important to listen to her body, honor her limits, and seek professional guidance when needed.
That's a great reminder. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more important topic, feminine power. How does this unique combination of Capricorn Sun and Gemini rising express itself in terms of feminine energy?
That's a wonderful question. You see, a Capricorn Sun, Gemini rising woman embodies this beautiful blend of feminine qualities. She's grounded and practical, yet also playful and communicative. She's ambitious and driven, yet adaptable and versatile. She possesses a unique strength and resilience, a potent combination of earth and air that allows her to navigate the world with grace and determination.
It sounds like she embodies the multifaceted nature of the divine feminine. But how can she tap into that power and use it to her advantage in 2025?
It starts with recognizing and celebrating the unique blend of feminine qualities she possesses. She's got that grounded, nurturing energy, that ability to create and sustain life, but she also has this spark, this intellectual curiosity, this desire to connect and communicate.
It's like the divine feminine meets the ultimate girl boss.
Exactly. And it's about owning that duality, trusting her intuition, speaking her truth, and refusing to dim her light for anyone.
It's about embracing all the facets of who she is, recognizing that her strength lies in her ability to blend seemingly opposite qualities into a harmonious whole.
Precisely. And when she does that, when she steps into her power with confidence and authenticity, she becomes a magnet for abundance, love, and joy.
That's a powerful image to hold on to as we move into the next part of our deep dive. But before we do, I have a question for you, dear listener. How will you honor and celebrate the divine feminine within you in 2025? We'll be back soon to explore some specific practices and rituals that can help you harness your cosmic potential. But for now, take some time to reflect on that question. Allow yourself to connect with the wise, intuitive, powerful feminine energy that resides within you. So we've been exploring the unique astrological blueprint of our Capricorn Sun Gemini rising listener and the cosmic energies that will shape her journey in 2025.
We've uncovered some fascinating insights into her personality, her strengths, and the potential challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
And now we're going to get even more specific. We've talked about those key months, March, April, and November, being particularly auspicious for her. What exactly makes these months so special? And how can she make the most of those powerful cosmic alignments?
Well, March is all about stepping into her power, particularly in her career. With several planets activating her 10th house of career and public image, this is a time to showcase her leadership skills, take on new responsibilities, and make bold moves to advance her professional goals.
So if she's been considering asking for a promotion, launching a new project, or even starting her own business, March is the month to go for it.
Absolutely, the stars are aligning to support her ambition and help her shine brightly in the professional realm.
That's exciting. Now, what about April? You mentioned it being a month focused on relationships.
Yes, April brings a wave of warmth and harmony to her closest relationships thanks to Jupiter's influence on her 4th house of home and family. It's a time to nurture those bonds, deepen intimacy with loved ones, and create a sense of peace and belonging in her personal life.
So it's a great time to plan quality time with family and friends, maybe even host a gathering or two to celebrate those connections.
Exactly, and for those in romantic relationships, April is a beautiful time to express love and appreciation, rekindle the spark, and strengthen the foundation of the partnership.
It sounds like a month filled with love, laughter, and deep connection. Now let's move on to November. What kind of magic does this month hold for our listener?
November is all about embracing her creativity and letting her Gemini side shine. With the sun illuminating her 5th house of creativity, self-expression, or romance, she'll experience a surge of inspiration and a desire to explore new ways of expressing herself authentically.
So it's a time to tap into her artistic side, maybe take up a new hobby, explore a new creative outlet, or simply allow herself to play and have fun.
Precisely, November is a month to embrace spontaneity, try new things, and let her creative spirit soar.
Now, while those 3 months hold particularly potent energy for our listener, I know is also curious about potential challenges she might face throughout the year. What are some areas where she might need to be extra mindful and perhaps call upon those Capricorn strengths of resilience and determination?
Well, one potential hurdle could arise from her tendency to take on too much at once. Remember that duality we talked about? That blend of Capricorn ambition and Gemini curiosity can sometimes lead to spreading herself too thin, which can result in overwhelm and exhaustion.
It's like she has two engines running at full speed, but sometimes they're pulling in opposite directions.
Exactly. The key here is to practice discernment, to prioritize her commitments, delegate when possible, and most importantly, remember that it's okay to say no. Boundaries are essential for protecting her energy and ensuring she has enough time and space for the things that truly matter.
So it's not about sacrificing her ambition or her curiosity, but rather about finding a sustainable pace, one that allows her to pursue her goals without burning herself out.
Precisely. And remember, Saturn's influence this year is all about creating structure and setting healthy boundaries. It's an opportunity to learn how to work smarter, not harder.
That's a valuable lesson for anyone, regardless of their astrological sign. Now, you mentioned communication being another potential challenge for our listener. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yes, while Gemini is naturally gifted in communication, that doesn't mean misunderstandings can't happen. Her Capricorn sun adds a layer of seriousness and directness to her communication style, which can sometimes come across as blunt or critical, especially if she's not careful.
It's a potent blend of intellectual curiosity and a desire to get straight to the point, which can be incredibly effective in certain situations, but also potentially lead to conflict if not handled with sensitivity.
Exactly. The key here is to practice mindful communication, to be aware of her tone, to choose her words carefully, and to really listen to the other person's perspective. Active listening is just as important as expressing oneself clearly.
It sounds like 2025 is an invitation for her to refine her communication things, to find that balance between expressing herself authentically and creating a space for open, compassionate dialogue.
Precisely. Now, another area where she might need to be extra vigilant is her health. We talked earlier about the importance of establishing healthy habits early on, especially with Saturn transiting her 6th house of health and daily routines.
Right? It's not about being perfect, but rather about making conscious choices that support her overall well-being.
Exactly. This year, it's essential for her to prioritize things like regular exercise, a balanced diet, and quality sleep. It's about tuning into her body's needs and creating a sustainable self-care routine that nourishes her physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
And remember, self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's about giving herself the fuel she needs to pursue her dreams and navigate the challenges that life throws her way.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to meditate, enjoying a relaxing bath, or spending time in nature.
It's about finding those little rituals that help her recharge and reconnect with herself. Now, before we move on to exploring some specific rituals and practices that can support her on this journey, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, embracing her feminine power. Can you offer some specific advice on how she can tap into that power and use it to her advantage in 2025.
Yes, this is such a crucial aspect of her journey. Embracing her feminine power starts with recognizing and celebrating the unique blend of qualities she embodies. She has that grounded, nurturing energy of Capricorn, the ability to create and sustain life, combined with the intellectual curiosity, the playfulness, and the desire to connect and communicate that comes with Gemini.
It's like she has access to a whole spectrum of feminine energy, from the practical and nurturing to the playful and intellectually stimulating.
Exactly. And it's about owning that duality, trusting her intuition, speaking her truth, and refusing to dim her light for anyone. It's about recognizing that her strength lies in her ability to integrate seemingly opposite qualities into a harmonious whole.
So it's about embracing both her ambition and her vulnerability, her desire for independence and her need for connection, her grounded practicality and her playful curiosity. It's about recognizing that all of these qualities are valuable and contribute to her unique power.
Precisely. And when she allows herself to fully embody her authentic self, to step into her power with confidence and grace, she becomes a magnet for abundance, love, and joy.
It's a beautiful vision to hold on to as we move into the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore specific practices and rituals that can help her harness this cosmic potential and manifest her desires. But for now, dear listener, I invite you to take a moment to connect with your own feminine power. Embrace the multifaceted nature of who you are, and know that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. For our Capricorn Sun Gemini rising listener, we've been exploring the unique energies that will shape her year, the potential challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, and the importance of embracing her feminine power.
And now we're going to delve into the practical side of things. We've talked a lot about cosmic energies and astrological influences, but how can our listener actually harness those energies to manifest her desires and create the life she dreams of?
That's the million-dollar question. Our listeners are always eager for practical tips and tools they can use in their everyday lives. So spill the celestial secrets. What kind of rituals and practices can she incorporate into her routine to amplify her intentions and align herself with those powerful cosmic currents?
Well, one practice that's particularly beneficial for our Capricorn Sun Gemini rising listener is journaling.
Journaling. That sounds pretty simple.
It is simple yet incredibly powerful. Remember, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, so writing things down can help her process her thoughts and emotions, gain clarity on her desires, and track her progress throughout the year.
So it's not just about randomly jotting down thoughts and feelings, but rather about using journaling as a tool for self-discovery and manifestation.
Exactly. She can use journaling to set intentions, explore her dreams, track her goals, express gratitude, and even process any challenges she might be facing. It's like having a personal conversation with the universe, a space where she can freely express herself and connect with her inner wisdom.
I love that imagery, a cosmic conversation. Now, what are some specific journaling prompts or practices she might find helpful?
Well, she could start by simply writing down her goals for the year. What does she want to achieve in her career, her relationships, her personal growth? What steps can she take to move towards those goals?
It's about breaking those big goals down into smaller, actionable steps, which can make them feel less overwhelming and more achievable.
Exactly. And it's not just about writing about what she wants to manifest. It's also important to reflect on her progress, to celebrate her wins, and to learn from any setbacks she might encounter.
So journaling can be a powerful tool for accountability and self-reflection. It's about staying connected to her goals and tracking her journey, both the highs and the lows.
Precisely. Now, another powerful ritual that can help her harness those cosmic energies is creating a vision board.
Ah, the classic vision board. It's a popular practice, but what makes it so effective?
Vision boards tap into the power of visualization, which is a key component of manifestation. By gathering images and words that represent her desires, she's essentially creating a tangible representation of her dream life, a visual reminder of what she's working towards.
And the act of creating that vision board itself is a powerful act of intention, right? It's about putting her desires out into the universe and declaring her commitment to making those dreams a reality.
Exactly. It's about aligning her energy with her goals and creating a visual representation of the life she wants to create.
So where should she start? What are some tips for creating a truly effective vision board?
First, I encourage her to choose a time when she can really focus and connect with her desires. Maybe light some candles, put on some inspiring music, create a sacred space where she feels relaxed and inspired.
Setting the mood is important. It's about making it a ritual, a sacred act of self-care and creative expression.
Precisely. Then gather magazines, photos, quotes, anything that visually represents her goals. It could be images related to career success, loving relationships, travel adventures, financial abundance, anything she wants to call into her life.
Let that Gemini creativity flow. It's about having fun with it and allowing her intuition to guide her as she selects the images and words that resonate with her soul.
Absolutely. Once she has a collection of inspiring visuals, she can arrange them on a board in a way that feels aesthetically pleasing and energizing to her. And the key is to place that vision board somewhere she'll see it every day.
A constant visual reminder of her dreams and aspirations.
Exactly. Now, in addition to these creative rituals, there are also some practices specifically tailored to harness the energy of her Capricorn sun and Gemini rising. For her Capricorn side, I recommend incorporating some grounding practices into her routine.
Grounding practices, what exactly do those look like and how do they benefit her?
Grounding practices help her connect with the Earth's energy, which can be incredibly stabilizing and centering, especially for someone with a lot of air energy, like our listener. It could be something as simple as spend time in nature, walking barefoot on the grass gardening, or even just taking a few deep breaths while focusing on the feeling of her feet on the ground.
So it's about finding ways to reconnect with her physical body and feel a sense of rootedness, which can be incredibly helpful when she's feeling overwhelmed or scattered.
Exactly. These practices can help her stay grounded and focused even amidst the busyness of life and the constant flow of information that comes with having